Schlatt and Charlie here today.
Right here.
How you guys doing?
I'm feeling pretty good about this one. I'm feeling pretty good about what we've got going on here today, actually.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a hiccup in the first two, but I'd say this one, it's going to be the #1 podcast in the history of the podcast. I feel really good about it.
Well, Ted, I'll tell you this one thing. I mean, you started this podcast talking about medical experts, and I mean, it seems like you need to invest quite a lot of money into a degree like that. Something I'm not willing to do because I just read this great book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki, and he told me that the best way to make money is to start a podcast. So that's why we do this thing. That's why I showed up on time.
That's why we're here.
Yeah,
that's why I showed up on time.
When I originally went to Schlatt to get him on this podcast, he originally was very, very against it. He said, "Fuck you, Ted. I hate you. And honestly, you're not worth my time." And I said, Schlatt, rude, first of all, but...
Ted said this really meaningful thing to me. He said, Schlatt will give you 50%. And that's why I'm here, and that's why I show up with a smile on my face. So let's go. Let's continue the podcast.
While that may not be necessarily true, I did show him numbers. Trust me. I showed him spreadsheets.
Yep.
I showed him projections.
He took me out to a nice steak dinner at Boa.
I took him out to Boa Steakhouse in LA, and I
wrote a little number down on a napkin.
Exactly. I just kept adding zeros, and every zero I saw, there was this shape in Schlatt's pants that grew every time. A zero was added. It was
Waiter, another napkin, you say, as you now continue on to the second one.
Yeah. I just kept going, and I kept going until it was across a whole table. We had converted onto the floor. The napkin stretched itself all the way outside of the restaurant and into the street, and at that point, Schlatt was like, "Where do I sign?"
Exactly. There's one thing I care about, Ted, and I'm glad we're on the same page about this.
Yeah. You are a money-loving motherfucker.
Shungan.
And yeah, exactly. And anyone who says otherwise, they don't know who they're dealing with. When it came to bringing Charlie onto the podcast, however, I went into town and I bought the cheapest dream catcher I could find, and I gave it to him, and he's been entertained.
It was a rainy day, and I was under my usual bridge. And this nice man walks up to me, and just dangling this little musty dream catcher at me. And he dangles it in front of my face a little. Kind of try and grab it, and then he lures me all the way back to this podcast studio.
Exactly, I lure him into
we record the first episode.
I lure him into a pre-prepared streaming room, and I sit him down and I hang it right in front of right behind the Dreamcatcher's right behind where his camera is, and he's been entertained ever since. He's kind of like a cat.
I keep trying to catch these dreams. They just keep slipping right out of my fingers.
There's been a lot of rumors going around that Charlie is a cat boy. And, I'm going to be the first to say here on the Chuckle Stand.
I don't like this one. I'm already not liking this one. We are continuing the downhill streak, baby, of the Chuckle Sandwich podcast. We are never going to live up to its past greatness, and every episode is just a further and further decline.
Charlie, fun fact, I actually know a guy who had a dream.
Really?
Yeah.
Where is he?
I think he's talking about Martin Luther King.
Yeah, he's dead.
I know. I just wanted to hear him.
He was killed.
Yeah.
Wow. Way to bring that up. Way to bring up.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I wasn't the guy who wanted to talk about his death.
You were the one that brought. You said I know a guy, and that's
then you
where it all
said, "Where is
started
he?" Which is like the worst thing to say when you're talking about dead people.
This podcast could not get worse until we filmed the fourth episode.
Oh my god, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, the fourth episode, there's a looming cloud. Right now we're on episode 3. I'm looking forward to podcast 4. There's a looming cloud over podcast 4. I can see it right now. I'm looking ahead at it, and it's not looking good, folks. Imagine that our podcast is it's like a crashing plane, and every one of our listeners, our loyal listeners, are the passengers that are freaking out as we take a nosedive toward the Atlantic Ocean right now.
It's like a roller coaster until you hit the ground. That's what
exactly, and we're the pilots right now, and we're all we're all wrestling each other to have control over which the pitch and yaw of the plane.
Exactly.
Except me. I'm batting a small dream catcher hanging from the control.
There he is. That's Catboy Charlie right there.
In reality, we just got shot down by Russia. So I mean, that's it's not really our fault. Anyways,
why do you think we got shot down by Russia, Schlatt?
I don't know. You were going on and on like you usually do, Ted. Jeez.
No.
Anyways, we've got some topics for the podcast
Because
today.
Schlatt tried to fly out of the wilderness tour,
Yeah,
so they had to
yeah.
shoot him down.
Yeah. Topic time. I'm pulling a little transition here. All right.
Okay.
I went on Reddit like I usually do. I have a lot of Reddit Gold. I have a year-long subscription to r/lounge because the people on that site love me. And I go to a favorite subreddit of mine, r/would you rather. But I don't browse like how they have the hot section and the news section, the top section, and you can sort by today, 1 week, 1 month, all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's a little known section to Reddit that you could only get to if you type in the section in the URL bar. The button isn't there anymore. They took it away.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, you can't get to it anymore. So you have to type in. You have to append to the URL controversial /controversial. Then you hit enter.
Controversy.
This brings you to a whole new section of the Would You Rather subreddit. So I suppose we'll start out with some Would You Rathers here. From the controversial of all time, who would you rather raise from the dead? Hitler, Stalin, or Mao?
Oh, God.
So.
Oh, God.
Redditors didn't like this one.
I can see why.
Did it have any gold on that one? And
No.
Was it gilded?
No,
it wasn't
it had
gilded?
it had a downvote actually.
That's tough because I'm gonna.
It is tough.
Why is it tough?
I'm gonna because they
Are
all
you considering
really do suck.
bringing Hitler back?
Here's what I will say, and this could be definitely considered controversial, but because of the historical context of it, I think it makes the most sense. Because Hitler was losing World War II, and the reason why he died was because he killed himself. He was going to stand trial, and he was going to go to. He was either going to. He could have been, executed or something. Or
You
he was
are
gonna go
about
Ted would
to
bring.
say-
No, stop right there.
Ted,
Stop
you
right
are
there.
about
Don't worry.
to say that you'd
We've
bring
got the
Hitler
idea.
back to life.
Chuckle sandwich lovers out there, write this down. Not only does he deserve to go to jail for all the things he's done to us, for all the bones he's broken, but now he's gone on the record and said, "I, Ted Nivison, want to bring back Hitler." Oh,
Wow.
jeez.
Let me finish explaining this, though, so I don't get demonized by our audience.
All right, Ted.
Is because Mao and Stalin, they were. I feel like they were going to continue doing. I don't know what the whole context of how all of these leaders like lost power or if they died in power or something like that. I don't know what the situation with Stalin and Mao was, but I do know that those two leaders, in the way that they were leading their countries, they were just starving millions and millions and millions and millions of people, and they were still in power. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I feel like if I brought one of them back, then they would keep doing that and they would keep killing people, whereas Hitler had already been stopped. That's my my logic there. But, that is a fucking tough question.
You shouldn't have explained
which
it.
terrible dictator
Ted,
would we
you
bring
shouldn't
back
have,
from the
you
dead?
shouldn't have continued because you just dug yourself into a deeper grave. I have no idea what that even means.
Schlatt, Ted, I know this is hotly contested between you guys right now, so I'm gonna try and take it somewhere else because I can tell that you're both really passionate about which terrible dictator you want to bring back. So let me pose you another one. Would you rather always find a bone in your meat or always find seeds in your fruit?
Seed in my fruit. I don't eat fruit, so fuck it. Done.
You don't eat fruit?
I would rather find always seeds in my fruit easily.
Why? Explain why.
Because there's
Explain
already
Do your work. Do your work.
seeds in plenty of fruit. There are in apples. There are in tomatoes, as you know very well, Charlie.
Do you eat seeded fruit?
What?
What
type of question even is
This
this?
is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Every apple I've ever eaten has had seeds in it, Charles.
Okay, I'm rephrasing the question. You find seeds where you don't want to find them in your fruit.
Most cuts of meat have bones in them. You just
Okay,
cut
but like you
around
get
it.
like okay, say you get boneless fish.
I don't eat fish. I don't care.
Okay, you find a fish bone in your burger. You find a bone in your burger.
Listen, if I'm eating fruit, I'm used to being unhappy because I'm like, oh, well, oh well, I have to be healthy, and so I'm gonna eat this apple and be all mopey. And might as well find some seeds in the fucking fruit. If I'm eating meat, I'm at a Boa Steakhouse with Ted Nivison. He's writing a little number down on a napkin that's going out the fucking door onto goddamn Hollywood Boulevard. Of course I don't want bones in there.
Would you rather have seeds in your meat or bones in your fruit?
Okay, now this is a good question.
Woo!
Now this is what I'm talking about. This is something that, you know, if you had phrased it like this, maybe Schlapp wouldn't have sent himself into a tizzy. He's probably dizzy right now.
Do you want meat seed or bone fruit? Tell me now.
I think I want meat seed.
They're like they're like the seeds you find in the orange that are like really annoying.
Okay, I want meat seed. Because nobody wants to bite into an apple and find the bone of a fallen chicken.
No one wants to bite into a banana and see the spine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like running all the way up.
Can you imagine biting into a banana and there's like a fucking baby monkey spine in there?
Yeah, that's not so good. That's not so good.
Schlapp, what is your answer to this?
Hey guys, sorry, Charlie. I was just looking for all the fucks I give about that question. Can we go to the next one, please?
Yeah, we can move on.
Thank you.
Oh, God. Holy shit.
Would you rather be a woman or be a lizard? This was, again, on the controversial section of r/would you rather. What
would you rather
be? Would you rather be a woman or be a lizard?
I'd rather be a woman.
Okay, so it was.
You'd realize inherently
Don't equate.
in that.
No, don't equate. It's not an equating thing. It's just like maybe I'm really into lizards.
Would you rather be a woman? So be and woman were capitalized, or be a lizard, and be and lizard were capitalized, and there was no punctuation at the end of the sentence.
For how long?
I think it's forever.
I don't want to be a lizard forever.
I don't think anyone wants to be a lizard forever.
Well, I guess I gotta be a woman.
Would you rather be a human that has thoughts or a fucking salamander?
78 Redditors would disagree with you, Ted.
78 Redditors were like, I screw having boobs. I would like to be a Komodo dragon and stick my tongue out every third second.
I want to lay eggs and feel the cold. Worse.
I want to have to sit in the sun in order to feel the warmth.
So 78 people voted lizard.
How many voted woman?
Guess.
Like a lot.
Can you, if you're a woman answering this question, are you also allowed to say woman, or can you just automatically transform into a lizard?
I'd hope most of the women who saw it would vote woman.
Well, maybe it's like they're already that. So it's like you automatically shift into the lizard category.
There were 135 Redditors wanted to be a woman, and 78 wanted to be a lizard, which kind of surprising. I feel like 78 is too high.
That's too. I would argue that these people sound like they may already be lizards, just trying to justify their cause.
I'm a little surprised by the amount of people that voted for lizard, and I might say that there are people who have malicious intent on this subreddit where they vote for stuff
what makes you say that?
I feel like they want to vote for the clearly wrong choice, which is clearly lizard.
There's nothing clearly wrong about it, Ted. What?
It's a lizard.
You could just really want to be a lizard. I mean,
Lizards have really cool lives. Some of them run the government.
Yeah, but that's when you're talking about lizard people who are not even from this planet. How are we supposed to know that? I mean, if I could be part of the Shadow Council as a lizard person, like a reptilian.
I think that's cheating. I think you would just be a lizard.
Yeah, I think that's a little
and
bit
I think
of a
you would just like
cop-out,
eat cicadas or whatever.
Well, hey, even if you were a lizard, even if you were a regular lizard, Ted.
Why do you have such a kind voice on right now? Like, what is there to relate to?
Because we're getting ready. We're getting ready for your metamorphosis.
This question really hit home for me because I had a pet lizard, you know, and I gave him the best life possible.
I don't know where this is. Where's this going?
Oh, we're getting back to the...
No, we're not getting back to anything. I'm just saying I had a pet lizard and that motherfucker lived like a king. and he didn't have to get up and worry about the 9 to 5. Half the people who watch this shit are going to college, fucking paying out their ass for all their debt. You're gonna get a desk job working. Fucking boss comes around and he's asking for TPS reports, and you just fuck it, man. I wish I was a lizard, you know?
No, I don't know.
I wish I ate crickets.
We just want to let you know here at the Chuckle Sandwich Podcast, you out there listening to this right now, you're not the only one that's had this thought. I want to be a lizard right now. Look,
you just sit on a stick, and you get a nice heat lamp above you, and you don't really think about getting out. This is all you know.
You just know
that the big man comes around and he holds you sometimes, and he pets you, and he gives you food. That's God. That's your religion. That gives you faith. And then you go to sleep every now and then it wakes up and the heat lamp is back.
I think the worst thing you have to worry about is when your eyes get dry and you have to blink.
Yeah, it's not like you get to choose what lizard you get to be, though. And it's not like you get to choose what sort of socioeconomic lifestyle the fucking lizard gets to have. It's you know?
Regardless, it's a very simple life. It's a very simple life. Ted, if you only had to worry about finding food, you'd be
might not be as simple though for like a lizard.
You probably enjoy it because it's you're probably gonna be good at it.
Oh, eagle! Scrap! See ya.
No.
Yeah. He brings up a good point there.
Absolutely. 100%.
You are completely disregarding the concept of predator versus prey in this little lizard fantasy that you have going on.
You are going to turn into a lizard. You're going to be doing your taxes in your cubicle, and you're going to get turned into a lizard, and you're going to get frame one eaten by a bird because you don't know how to be a lizard.
So why are we assuming this woman is part of our society right now that has been constructed, and why are we assuming that the lizard can't be part of the society I constructed for mine? What if you're a hunter-gatherer woman?
So you're just saying, what if I just
you don't get to pick?
Like Rust?
What if you were
you're right.
What if you spawned in as a woman in like 5000 BC and fucking Marcus Aurelius is coming and he's got elephants and they stomp all over you?
Could I be a dinosaur? I want to be a dinosaur.
Maybe you could be.
Well, hold the phone.
This spices the question up a little bit.
Hold the phone. Charlie brought up an incredibly good point right now.
Would you rather be a dinosaur or stomped on by an elephant? Ted, take it away.
Okay. Well, now that you're saying this, being a dinosaur might be kind of a cool thing. Mm-hmm. I might like to be a dinosaur, but there is no way in fucking hell that you are gonna catch me being under a heat lamp in a glass box.
It sounds so
for my entire life.
It sounds so. Ted, no. My parents have worked 9 to 5s for 40 years, and their escape is literally buying a plane ticket, going down to Florida, and basking under the sun, doing nothing. That's literally what they enjoy. Okay, lizards just do that all the time
because they're cold-blooded.
So.
They do that because they have to, or else they'll move so slow they can't go anywhere. They don't even need
sunscreen. They just sit under the heat lamp and enjoy it. And you know what? They're happy. I guarantee you, my boy was happy. I guarantee it.
I'm not calling into question whether or not your personal pet lizard you have had a happy life.
So right now, all we've added on really is if you are Schlatt's lizard. If you happen to be Schlatt's lizard, you'll be good. Yeah. Otherwise. Probably frame one eaten by a large bird.
I will.
Just instantly.
You're a nice meal for a bird of prey, and that's not something I really want.
Cool. Would you rather kill your mother or kill your father?
Oh no!
Another controversial one on the Reddit.
Oh no, this is bad too because my parents listen to this podcast occasionally.
Would you rather kill occasionally? What? So have they listened to 1 or 2 of the episodes?
You know, I've got a feeling I don't know if they're gonna make it through this one, Ted. I think this might be the occasionally.
Charlie, you're gonna have to take it away because I've got no fucking clue.
Yeah. In lizard society, traditionally, let's see. Does the mother or father care for the young?
Is this under the assumption that we're lizards now?
I'd like it to be.
Oh, so we're lizards.
What do lizard mothers and fathers do?
Well, the mothers, I assume, lay the eggs, and the
okay.
dads
I guess
come
I would scurry on over to my dad, and I guess throw myself at him until he died.
Jesus Christ.
As a lizard.
Watch out. We got Oedipus on this
As a
podcast.
You know, if I was a lizard, that is probably what I would pick if I was a lizard.
Okay, now in real life, what would you do?
Well,
Real life, what would you do? You killing your mom or you killing your dad? Would you rather be stung by a bee 100 times or live the remainder of your life in Newark, New Jersey?
I think I'd be stung by a bee 100 times.
Me too.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were framing it like 100 times, like at a rate over the rest of your life. But if it's only 100 times stung by a bee, yeah, no, fuck Newark, New Jersey. And this is all the people out there who are from Newark, New Jersey. Not on my goddamn life.
Is 100 enough to? I think 100 at once is enough to die, probably.
Okay,
right?
yeah, you're append this.
So
you're
really the question
allergic
is
to bees. Deathly
right,
allergic.
So the question is,
Deathly
live
allergic.
in New Jersey or die. In which case, I would still get stung by 100 bees.
Well, now you're changing the rules here.
Ted, just say die so we can move on. I want to do one of my questions.
Just say
die.
Thank you.
I'll die.
I've got one for you. Follow-up question on that. Would you rather keep your life as it is, or receive $1 million right now, but if a rat ever touches you, you instantly die?
Keep my life as it is.
Why is that?
Because I'm doing pretty well.
You're living in filth, aren't you? You're living in filth. You got rats everywhere.
No, I'm doing pretty well. I mean, I won't talk about the amount of rats that I see on a daily basis because it is staggering, but, you know.
You got Stuart crawling around back there?
Yeah, little baby fucking Stuart having a ball.
Rats don't go near you. Rats are scared of you.
Rats?
Yeah.
Rats? But can you imagine, like, being in some sort of situation where you're taking out the trash
All it takes is one, man. That's the thing. The fact that all it takes is one.
A rat isn't gonna fucking touch you.
Yeah, but
are
imagine...
you gonna touch
I
a
lived
rat?
my entire life in New York City watching them in the fucking subway grates. I watched a rat drag a piece of fucking pizza down the stairs of Port Authority. He doesn't want anything to do with me. He doesn't want anything to do with me, Ted.
One of these days, you're gonna want that pizza too, and you're gonna brush up against that rat, and you're gonna instantly die.
The situation that I was thinking in my mind was like, hey, you're taking the trash out someday, and out from under the fucking dumpster scurries out a rat, and it brushes up against you for a moment.
Bullshit.
Yeah, you're dead.
The rat's gonna
So
run in
I
your
would
direction.
keep my life as is, because with my pockets just full of these like opened granola bars, I have no doubt that if I were to walk around the city street for even more than a couple minutes, I would be absolutely covered.
Yeah, $1 million is not enough to keep you safe from any interaction with rats for the rest of your life.
All it takes is one.
All it takes is a single rat, and for it all to come crashing down, Slide. Is that what you want?
True, similar to Charlie's pockets. I mean, my pockets are already deep enough to the point where $1 million is kind of a drop in the bucket. So
what if someone finds out? Like, what if someone finds out, you know,
didn't think about that.
Don't tell
your
him.
rat weakness?
Don't fucking tell him. How about that?
Maybe it comes up in casual conversation. Maybe your friend is like, this guy's doing a funny bit. He's gonna die if he touches a rat. And then your friend goes out and buys a rat and throws it at you, and then you die. This is like, I can see that.
What if you are seduced into telling someone your weaknesses? What if somebody seduces you into it and they say, hey, you got any problems in your life? And you
What
say,
if you're filling out a job application and you get to the weaknesses part? And
Yeah.
and